Lucille must struggle to get a spot in the parish. Lucille and Nicole are left alone together in Detroit while Charles ventures into his son's musical endeavors. In these situations, the mother-daughter connection naturally becomes more strained. One of the main points of disagreement is the envelope of cash that Terry gave Nicole at her baby shower. It's clear that the mother has taken the gift from her daughter, despite Lucille's denials. However, when the problem is brought up, she refuses to take responsibility and instead creates a quarrel with the teenager. She also keeps using the pilfered funds for food and other essentials, which further highlights her irresponsibility. Nevertheless, this lack of judgment is not limited to her home. Lucille also indulges in a few indulgences, such as a lovely dress or two, during this vulnerable phase. The churchgoers will inevitably notice their pastor's change in pace. Everyone in the little town is aware of the Flenorys' financial difficulties. Additionally, they have understanding of the type of firm that Terry and Meech operate. As a result, the board stops believing in Lucille and informs her that her future is still uncertain. Bryant leads raids at the stash houses of BMF. Even if the BMF's operations continue to provide disappointing outcomes, Bryant finds a lot of success. He is able to obtain the whereabouts of multiple stash homes run by Meech and his crew because of his prior bust. As a result, the investigator can launch raids that have the potential to severely damage the Flenery brothers' business thanks to a few calculated actions. Bryant, who is eager to seize any chance to brag, prepares for this by making it a point to approach Meech and Terry when they are in the hospital, grieving for Purdy. Even he is aware, though, that Meech and Terry cannot be personally brought down by the stash homes. Bryant devises another scheme for the same purpose. Armed with a wire, he employs his reluctant informant child as a mole to coerce Meech into making a confession. The child ultimately turns tail at the last minute, though, in spite of the detective's threats. B. Mickey, who is still looking for his own kind of retaliation against Meech, notices this. He thus secretly removes the man from the celebration and shoots him on the side of the road. What exactly motivates him at this time is unknown. After all, the informant might have been a simple means for him to see BMF fall apart. However, his concurrent assent with Bryant's strategy will undoubtedly cause more issues, regardless of his motivation. Purdy ends up dead. In the past, Purdy overdosed due to her drug addiction and pain medication. The musician, however, runs away from the establishment and ends up back in the arms of her predatory former partner and producer, Trell, despite the fact that her friend places her in recovery. The latter continues to take advantage of her when she is weak in order to support her drug addiction. Despite Terry's objections, Meech chooses to search for the rapper in the interim. The latter appears to think that Stomping Records should be abandoned before it brings BMF down with it because it is already a sinking ship. His older brother, however, is unwilling to retract the commitments he has made. He therefore unavoidably arrives at Trell's house to rescue Purdy from his grasp. Purdy learns that she has people who love her and would pull her out of a difficult situation when Meech saves her. This gives her the strength to resist the hold her addiction has on her and to leave her abuser. She works with Charles to compose new music after returning to the Stomping Records studio. But the road above her is still fraught with challenges. Trell surprises the musician by forcing her to reveal the truth about her addiction during a radio appearance. She nevertheless presents herself in the best possible light and makes an effort to enjoy the re-release celebration being held in her honor for her bright future. But when an unidentified admirer sends her a package with a cocaine-filled trinket, things quickly go bad. Purdy so falls back into her addiction.